My last video, I talked about polarity, and I said I'd get into it a little deeper to understand what polarity means and how you can use it in reality creation and actually healing your own mind. So let's get to it. Hi, this is Daniel Laxtons, and I teach higher levels of Law of Attraction through the Ultimate Reality Surfing program. Now, polarity, I talked about this in the latest video, and I promised that I would make some more videos on this. So I wanted to get into a detailed discussion to help you really truly grasp what this really means in reality creation. So what is polarity? We know the Earth has two poles, the North Pole, the South Pole. Now, does that mean that the Earth is just a north, it's north? No, or it's just south? No, it's got both poles, but we're not talking about two different things. Well, I guess you are if you're talking about Antarctica or the North Pole. But the point is, the Earth is the same thing. And I'm gonna show you how you can look at our emotions when we're dealing with our emotions, or actually trying to redesign ourselves in creation, reality creation. So we're going to talk about polarity. So remember how I mentioned in the last video, good and bad, happy or sad, anxious or excited, fear or brave. These are all the same thing. It's, we just don't have a word for this. Now with volume, you have high volume, you have low volume, but you can adjust that volume knob. There's other things like treble. Treble is not, they don't have a different name for the word treble. What's the opposite of no treble? So, but in English, we did have different words for the same thing. And that these don't have to be exactly the same thing. And I'll get into this a little bit deeper. But when you look at this though, anxious and excited, see how this is the volume knob, but in reality, remember we have a North Pole and we have a South Pole. So if we come over here, I decided to turn these up and down because when it comes to vibration, volume is just frequency. You're turning up the frequency, turning it down. We can do this with our emotions, and we have some help. I just did a video on changing our mood with music. So we can use different instruments to help us to get to where we want to be. So I thought we'd start out here first talking about, sometimes people are anxious to go up on stage. They're going to be a public speaker, and the anxiety gets to them where it develops into fear. So some of these poles are connected to each other. And so when you think about this, what my wife and I, we've done public speaking for so many years that we have been doing public speaking that we actually always say that, hey, I'm getting excited. You take a deep breath before you walk up on the stage, but instead of feeling anxious, you turn that anxious into excitement. So again, you just adjust that knob. And then brave and fear is a similar thing here. So you may be afraid. So you're afraid of speaking in front of people because, you're just afraid, you're feeling anxious. So these two separate vibrations of the same thing are making you feel in a certain way. So you feel fear, you're anxious, and you don't want to go up on that stage to speak. So the opposite of fear is brave. So you have to be brave, but it's kind of hard. It's like, well, be brave. How do you do that? Well, here's the thing is, what we did is we changed this anxiousness into excitement, and then the fear went away, and this volume switch of bravery goes up. And so you don't even have to think I'm brave necessarily. You can just change the anxious into excitement. I'm so excited that I'm gonna share something. But what if I fail? Oh, there's the fear again. What if I'm gonna fail? Well, you just say, I'm not gonna fail. I'm excited. So you can use that to cancel out this. And it doesn't really cancel it out. It just changes the volume switch. And there's certain percentages that you can play around with. So my friend Shinichi Tomita, back when we're in elementary school, he was asking me if I like this or that. And I go, oh yeah, I like that. He said, well, how much do you like it? And I'm like, I like it. And so, but in his concept, you can actually look at how much you like something or dislike something by a percentage. So it's like, I love calamari 60%, but I love French fries 95%. So you can see that even though you love both items, there may be a higher percentage of what you love on certain levels. So you can make adjustments in your volume on percentages. And the thing is to get ourselves to a point where we're dealing with excitement than anxious. The secret is that you want to experience both. So if you're feeling afraid and then you say, oh, I'm afraid to go on stage. Well, just feel the fear. Feel what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen when you're on stage? Oh, I messed up. I said the wrong thing. And then you get all upset and then you're embarrassed. By the way, we're going to talk about that in a second. But you get embarrassed, and so just visualize that whole situation happening. And after it's all over, what's going to happen? People are going to come up and say, hey, you did a good job of trying, and I got what you're saying. And so live out what that would feel like. Visualize that future. Oh no, we're going to draw it into reality. Actually, you won't. Remember, there's a time delay. So that's the reason why you can play around with your polarities in your imagination, and you don't have to be afraid that you're going to bring that into reality while you're creating your reality. But when you play with it, you feel the fear, then you feel brave, you feel it's all going to work out, then you feel, oh, it's not going to work out, and you play with this until it desensitizes you to the fear. And it desensitizes you to the bravery. But it's okay, because when you become desensitized with fear and up here, then you're neutral. And in the neutral area, you're not creating reality. And so once you cancel those out, next thing you know, you feel good, you feel normal. And now you can start to think about the thing that you want to create. You can think about the brave thing. Anyways, with the fear, you're afraid of something, but in reality, you're thinking of the worst case scenario, or you're thinking the best case scenario. So think about both of those. Spend 3-5 minutes. Some people, if they had a bad experience, it may take 3 days to feel, what they felt. It's like, I'm so upset, this happened to me. Sometimes it takes us a while to think about those things, and then we finally get over them over maybe a few days. So take your time if that's what you're doing, and don't worry, you're not going to manifest it, because manifestations have a delay factor. All right, now I talked about bravery, fear. Now let's look at this though. Confidence, embarrassment. We're afraid that if we get on that stage, we're going to be embarrassed. But if you have confidence, you're not going to be embarrassed. Now that goes down to here. Look at this. It's a feeling of worthlessness. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm just worthless. I don't have value. By the way, this is one of the biggest things that humans have. When we're born, we want our mom and dad to know that we have value. When we're at work, we want when we're at work, we want our bosses to know that we have value, the company we work for. And so worthlessness. Now then you move on down the road here, we got knowing and ignorant. Knowing and ignorant. See, once you know enough about a subject, then that gives you confidence. Confidence is over here. So these two vibrations correspond to each other. So again, if you want more confidence, then you have to turn up your knowing. And that's not necessarily a volume switch on the actual feeling. This is actually something that you have to do. Study more of the subject and study until you feel confident. Right now, you may, and by the way, ignorant was a word that was used to tell people that they were stupid, but ignorant just means you don't know. And there's nothing wrong with the word ignorant. Look it up. But if you look at it knowing, you may know only 20% of that subject. That means that your confidence level may only be 20%. These different things correspond to each other. And so once you have more knowledge, then your confidence goes up. And by the way, so does your value. If you're given a presentation, you have more value because you know what you're talking about. And here's what's so weird is, the opposite of knowing can be doubt. But over here, doubt, the opposite of doubt is faith. So faith, that's pretty good. You can say, well, faith is a good thing. Faith is believing in something, and yet maybe you have no evidence of that. And that's what reality creation is all about, isn't it? So you have to have faith that this is going to work out, but you also have knowledge, because as you're studying and watching videos like mine and some of the other teachers out there, you're growing in your knowledge, and now you can start to feel confident that it's all going to work out. But just remember, all of these are polarities. We have the reverse of them, but they're not the reverse. They are the same vibration. All we're doing is adjusting the volume knobs on those vibrations. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit the bell, and share it with a friend, and leave a comment. And that way I can get more of these videos out to people just like you that are trying to grow and make a better life for themselves and help others. I'll see you in my next video.